Okay,
I
good. You
just
got
think
us
it's
okay?
in and out.
Oh, all right. Let's try this again. You hear me okay?
Still can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. No worries. We can do this one more time. All right. So again, I am Jill DeWitt with my partner, Stephen Jack Vitala. We are Land Academy. And today we are very happy and very lucky to have members and special guests and also professional land and other real estate investors, Aaron and Liz English. And where are you guys? You guys are you're in Portland, right?
Close. Just north of Portland.
Vancouver. Okay. Vancouver. Thank you. Well, we are really glad that you were able to join us and take the time. And I know everyone watching right now is really excited to hear what we all have to say. So what we're doing today is basically, I'm calling it Pro and Land Investors Talking Shop. So we're going to share a little bit about, who we are, our experience. We're going to talk to Aaron and Liz about their experience, what was going on, a few months ago, pro all this virus craziness, how it's changed, how we're all doing business differently today, what we all individually and collectively think is going to happen going forward a couple months from now, because we all want to know. And, any concerns, we're going to all share openly. And I want anyone watching and listening here, please type in your questions. This is just going to be a free-flowing conversation, and we want you to just ask away. And you can say, hey, how are Aaron and Liz tackling X? Or how are we tackling Y? We're all here to, again, share our experiences and help you, whether you are in this business and just a little anxious, or thinking about this business, or thinking we're all nuts to be in this business, whatever it is, we're happy to answer any questions that you have. So I'm going to go back and just share. So we are Land Academy. We've been professional investors, well, Stephen, since the 90s. And then I came along, 11 years ago. We created Land Academy in 2015 because so many of our wholesale investors that were buying properties from us basically said, all right, how are you guys doing this so cheap? Over the years, we were sharing what we've been doing and our techniques and how we use data, Stephen uses data. I do the selling, and share our business. And anyway, because of the need and the request, we created Land Academy. And here we are now, 2020. And we have awesome people in our community like Aaron and Liz who are doing deals right with us. And some months probably even doing bigger deals than we are. So happy to have you here. So if you would tell us a little bit about you both.
Well, Aaron and Liz, we've been investing for about 3 years in land. Vetted you guys for like a year before, so maybe like 4 years more or less. And then I was like, okay, these guys are legit. I got to go with them. So it was like 3 years ago. Finally pulled the trigger and been at it ever since. And it's kind of what we've been doing. Just land investing, and then we have another business on top of that. And just land was kind of going to be our backup, but now it's kind of taken over as like the main thing. Not lately, but because our other business, it's peak season. So
we have a plant nursery with online sales. So we were fortunate that throughout this, that's still an essential business, and we can do that from home. And people are gardening, so that's good for us.
Yeah, they didn't cancel gardening, so.
How lucky are you? You have two very profitable, viable businesses right now. That's just the only thing you don't do is sell, N95 masks. that's probably the only thing missing. A mask. I can grow my own food. I can buy my own food from you guys, and I can buy my land to grow it on.
Yeah, it's perfect, really, when you think about it like that.
Kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have a still somewhere on your property?
That's it.
A still?
A still?
No.
Not yet. I did buy it last week, though.
If we get a little further into this thing, all of us are going to do some strange stuff, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm down for making a bunch of whiskey.
That's awesome. So what kind of deals I want to know, give us, if you would, some examples pre-January and, all the craziness going on now. What were some of your typical transactions?
So pre-January, we were doing a bunch of deals in Oregon, buying them for like between 7 and 15, and then selling them for 30, 35, and then now it's kind of it's a little different now. I just sent out 8,000 units last week, multiple counties across the country. Response rate hasn't been what I was expecting. It's a little bit lower. But it's kind of in the beginning stages too. So we know in the beginning it's all a bunch of haters and crappy deals and stuff like that. So waiting for some good stuff to come in, but the response is a little lower than usual. But I think it's the times. Maybe my pricing was off too. There's a lot of factors. But yeah, it's a little slower as far as sales go too. Like 2 weeks ago, I think it was like right around the time they started closing the schools. We just sold we were selling property like crazy, like smaller deals too.
Yeah, we sold like 4 or 5 in one day, which was a lot for us.
Yeah.
But then once they put in that stay-at-home piece, then we had it definitely dwindled off. I think initially people were like, well, I've got the kids, it's spring break, let's get a piece of property and get out of here and quarantine ourselves.
Right.
And now they have to stay home. So I think we're getting a little bit less just because people aren't going out to check out properties as much.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you're obviously not afraid though if you just send out 8,000 units.
Yeah.
Nope.
So it's obvious. It's not like you're just adjusting a little bit to it, is what I think.
Yeah,
So
we're definitely cherry picking now. Like I was picky before, but now I'm like super picky.
Yeah.
It's like they have to be home runs, or I don't want to just be sitting on something for, how long ever this thing's going to go. It's just want to like move them fast.
So being picky, have you the sellers that have called you back in the last 4 weeks, basically, have you readjusted your offers or have you stayed with your original offers price?
We talked about it, but our kid just spilled a whole bunch of BBs. It's kind of funny. And but yeah, we talked about it, and then we're like, maybe we'll just pass, and we're just gonna wait for the really good deals to come in, and we're not even gonna waste our time because we had a bunch of small deals coming in,
And that was the other thing is with a lot of the small deals, we usually have to send a mobile notary, and right now mobile notaries aren't going places in some counties, and even doing due diligence in some counties is really hard because they're not open to call you or call you back even. So it's kind of tricky for the small deals. And before this, we were doing bigger deals. We were just sending everything through title. So it was really easy. And I like that.
Yeah.
So when it got complicated, we said, if they're really great, we'll just put them on ice and we'll be like, okay, when things open up again, we may move forward with that deal. For right now, we're just going to go after the bigger, nicer deals that we can put through title and let them kind of push that through.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is it's almost like your volume hasn't changed a whole lot. What's coming back, what you're pulling the trigger on is what you guys are being a little more picky about.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't want to sit on a bunch of inventory that, one, is harder for us to even get that deal closed and do the due diligence and all that work on it. And then two, like, it's like if it's gonna take us longer to try and get it done, let's just go after the ones that are really great.
Yeah.
Isn't that how we should all be going though anyway, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'd rather do. We talk about a lot too. It's like when I'm looking at, okay, I have these 2 deals and I can make this much money, or I can do just this deal and make this much money. And like, I forget about those 2. You start doing just, fewer but bigger deals.
Yeah. And the same amount of work.
Exactly.
Or sometimes less work because you just send it to the title company and they do the work.
Yeah.
Isn't that the greatest thing? We were on a call this morning with some people, and they were asking us, okay, right now today, how many deals do we self-close? And like, gosh, you know what? Lately, it hasn't been many at all. The only ones I've self-closed is because, for some reason the seller needed the cash really fast. So I might quickly get the money in their hands, and then we'll go through and do title and get our, do that, get the title insurance later, because I know it's worth it in the end to have title insurance when I go to sell it. But I'm with you, Liz. It's like it's nice to sit back and let somebody else do the deal. Theoretically, we all know we have to kind of babysit it to get
Right.
it done, but the majority of the work, they're doing it, and I like that also.
Yeah. And that's what we were doing back in January. I think Aaron was trying to hit some other counties and try some other things. So then I was like, you know what? Some of these little ones are they're too much work. And right now it's hard to even move it through. So, like, let's just pass on some of those or cherry pick if they're really great and then just go after the bigger ones. And I mean, I think that's kind of been our model for the past several months anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just a reminder.
There's going to be out there right now too. People are out of work and they want to sell their properties, and
Yep.
they're like, there's a piece of property we haven't used in years. Let's just sell it, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Regardless of the economic environment, for me, about 1 out of 8 deals ish, I look at the deal on the internet and I have an oh my god moment, like, wow, okay, now what's wrong with this property? Did the seller leave a zero out? Did I price it wrong? It just had this, oh my god, I can't believe this is the greatest deal ever. Jill, come on over and look at this. Let's try to find something wrong with it. Otherwise, we're going to buy this thing today. Now more than ever, that's what you have to do. Because if you have that feeling through the acquisition process, if you represent that on the internet, the buyer's going to have that same feeling, and that's what you need. But you need to have it because of the virus. The seller needs to think this is a smoking deal because of the virus, even though we all know in our group that's what we do anyway.
Right.
So that's really what I think where the opportunity lies. I don't think we're changing our business model that much. We're not really changing it at all. Maybe lowering prices a little bit on the acquisition side and lowering prices on the sales side a little bit, but you got to factor this thing in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For like more offers and a lot of tire kicks. I would. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lately.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Say that one more time. What you're doing?
Yeah, it just cut out.
Okay. We're not moving as much property right. Oh, home order, and so I mean we're still getting calls and we're still getting emails. I think because at least in Washington we've been on lockdown there are people that are getting antsy to go out and at least look at property. So we've gotten several inquiries about stuff like that.
That's cool. I like to think one of the great things about our business already is we're already the pros at buying things, sight unseen, 3 states away, and have great maps and resources. And we're also really good at posting property for sale online for people to buy and look up and see, sight unseen too, which is great.
Yeah. It's nice to have all our businesses already online. So we can keep working, my heart goes out to friends who are in other industries, cutting hair, doing tattoo work, whatever, where they can't work right now because, they've got to be really creative to come up with something on the fly because.
Yeah. And people that are.
Oh, it's the Stephen Joe show. I guess we're gonna have a meeting together, Jill.
I guess we are.
So what do you think really is the big difference here? The real big difference between, what is it, April 10th
right?
and February 10th? Is it pricing? Is it the amount of deals? Is it, what do you think?
Okay.
I have a lot to say about
What's really going on right
Yeah.
now? Okay. I think what's different between what in January and for me right now today is I have better deals and I have more deals. I have people that are going right now that need the cash and are frantically going through looking for our offers and want to sell their property. And let me back up, and for anyone who's just joining in, or and wondering what just happened to Aaron and Liz, we lost our signal. I think that they were on Wi-Fi. And it was beautiful. They were outdoors enjoying the garden, um, just north of Portland. Were they
Yeah,
Vancouver?
yeah,
Vancouver, and
Vancouver, Oregon.
right, and we lost our feed with them. So hopefully you've got kind of some of the just what's going on. So they were just explaining how they're just getting pickier. We're all getting pickier. So what and we spend a lot of time on this with a lot of people all day, every day. Um,
Go ahead. I'm
okay,
sorry.
are you working on
Yeah,
this?
go ahead.
We're going to try to connect them again if we can. So I want to just give a little backstory too. What we're talking about is the way we source deals. We use data, assessor data in a nutshell. We're licensed providers of the top three sources. And we use assessor data to send out offers by the thousands. You heard Aaron English mention he just sent out 8,000 units. So that's awesome. He's hitting maybe one county, maybe several counties, I'm not sure. But that's what we do. We send out real cash offers with a dollar amount on them that are 2-page, very respectful. Oh, back.
Hey,
Yay. Yay. I was just explaining a little bit for everybody too what we do about sending cash offers, and you just send out 8,000. You're not afraid of it. So are we good? We're back where
Yeah,
we left
yeah.
off? Okay. So where did we leave off? I'm trying to think here. So
What's different about April? I think really what everybody wants to know is
yeah,
this: what's different to be about April 10th
yeah,
versus February 10th, and what's it going to look like, 3 months from now on the
exactly.
10th? That's really what I think everybody wants to know. What do you guys think?
well, February was pretty good for us. I mean, we're buying more, selling more. It's definitely slowed down. The sales side, buy side, I think is still going to be hot. I'm just waiting for that third and fourth week to come in after these mailers I sent out. It's fast unless they're. I'm talking to other guys in the group and they're like, yeah, stuff below like $5,000 is moving fast. $5,000
Yeah.
plus. You're gonna hang on to it longer, like naturally would, but maybe even a little bit longer now. Or things might change, and it's all regional. It depends on where you're sending them, where people are. Probably closer to the bigger cities, they're gonna sell faster. Is my guess. Um, East Coast is probably hot right now, just because there's a lot of bigger.
Yeah, people are probably like, after being stuck at home with my
Yeah,
family
they're
all the
gonna
time,
want
I
to get
need
that.
some
Yeah.
land.
It's like,
Get me
Yeah.
out on
I
acreage.
call
for
that virus land.
yeah, virus.
Yeah.
You can
What I
cross
think
out
is
there and get
so
rid of them.
great is the number of people online. Everybody right now, I mean, talk about a huge buyer's market
Yeah.
for us. It's phenomenal. I mean,
That's-
the number of people that are sitting right now, sick of their families, looking to buy stuff, right? And if they see a good deal come along, especially now that we've all learned, we've talked about this a lot too, all the jobs and things that we thought we couldn't do remote, us included, with some of our people and our staff, we're like, guess what? We can do it remote. I probably don't need this office. So there's a lot of people that were thrown into it. And I'm sure they're saying them scratching their heads going, why are we paying this mortgage or this rent to live in this area when we don't have to be here anymore? So, and again, they're all online and they have the time. So and we're hearing too from a lot of people getting a lot of interest and even more. Some people said a couple weeks ago they noticed there were less tire kickers and more serious people um, with money. Is that
Yeah,
what you
we
guys
had
are
that.
seeing too?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, where like people are like just pulling the trigger. They weren't even asking questions.
yeah.
But now it's back to tire kickers. So maybe it's just like a phase, like a fear thing. It's all psychological buying and selling. So if we could just like create a
I
panic
think
all
this
of a
is
sudden
gonna.
and then make everything okay again, and then panic, and we could sell stuff all day.
I think this is gonna change real estate forever. The way that 9/11 changed the airline industry forever. I think that if anybody was leaning toward any type of prepper tendencies, this is all they needed. This is the vindication that they needed. And I think the whole world's going to be, instead of shopping for cabin property like a second home, it's going to be like some version of, hey, let's get a virus property.
Right.
And so, especially if this happens again soon, like if it happens, some version of it happens next year. Hopefully, it's way less dramatic and less economic implication. But I think this is given all of us. We sent all of our people home unwillingly. The people who work for us, for all of our 9 companies, and I don't think they're coming back. Like, they're doing great. They love it there. Our numbers are okay. Why would we bring them all back and make them do the commute and all that stuff again? So I really think this work at home thing for those of us who have made it work, I think, and they could do this from Alaska if they wanted on the same salary. So I think some permanent changes and all in our favor are going to happen.
All right, I have a question for you. I've got Alec Spence wants to know. He says, Aaron and Liz, how are you marketing your properties? Where do you sell the most land? We're going to give this a moment to catch up.
Facebook Marketplace. We're really on like Facebook Marketplace, and then our website, of course.
Okay.
So you cut in and out. Did you just say Facebook Marketplace and your website, and that's it?
Roll Vacant Land, Luke's site, and he syndicates to, I think, a couple other websites when you're on there with him. And then he syndicates, I think, to a couple other sites. And then I got one property on Zillow, but that's so hard to get on Zillow because they ask you a million questions and the callbacks. And then Facebook groups, and that's kind of it. And I sent out my newsletter, and this isn't out because it takes all my time to market.
Yeah.
So I hear social media, a ton of social media, basically, which is great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh yeah,
that's so good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we post on all our properties, but sorry, yeah, I think there's a lag.
When it catches up,
go ahead.
I want to ask you. All right, here we go. What changes, if any, are you making now to set you up for next month and this summer?
I'm probably going to send out a little less mail.
Okay.
Just me personally for me, because our other business is going crazy right now, and we lost both our employees a few weeks ago, and then we have a new guy, so I'm training him. So we're just kind of
busy with
busier
that too.
with the other business. So if I had more staff, I'd be sending out 8,000, 10,000. I'd probably even up my mailers, just because I know there's going to be a ton of home runs out there.
That's good for everybody to hear. So it's not because you don't think of it. You have so much going on, which is a great problem to have.
Yeah, we're really lucky.
So are we.
Yeah.
All the businesses we have were not and are not affected by this. We're all work at home people.
Yeah.
All of our members are used to working at home. So we're just, and it's pure luck. Yeah. Jill and I, for tax reasons, purchased a pizza delivery place 3 months ago. And 1 month later, every restaurant in the world closed. So, it's just,
oh my goodness,
our sales have tripled. Like we can't handle the volume and all of it. So, it's just pure luck. Or maybe we just gravitate toward businesses that are not real estate walks through a door driven. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not sure, but
Mhm.
it all seems to be
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you know what you said is partially true. Like, I'm pretty sure this is how you guys are too. We always look for businesses that we have a lot of different avenues that we can take them, and that there's a huge margin on what you buy and sell them at. And that's it, whether it's land or pizza. What it costs to make a pizza and sell a pizza, I can easily double my money. Same with land. I can buy it and easily double it with land. I'm good with that.
Yep.
So I bet plants, I'm gonna guess, are similar.
Same with plants.
Yep. Exactly. I love it.
Way higher markup with
I have
plants.
some more questions here for you guys. It said Blake Dalton wants to know, how many deals were you guys averaging per month before the corona?
I don't know. Probably. It's seasonal for us. We get like a huge surge sometimes, and then sometimes it's like we'll go like 2-3 weeks nothing, and then we'll sell like 5 properties. So I don't know. It seems like spring and summer we get more sales, and then January 1st seems to be like the great like everybody wants to buy property January 1st for us for some reason. Yeah, it's just like certain times a year. But on average, I don't know. I'd say like
per month,
3 or 4 sales per month, and then we're buying like maybe 10, maybe
I guess it depends on the
maybe
month.
20. Depends on the month, and if I priced it right, or the attitude of the sellers.
Cool. All right. And then I got some other things here. Tim Krause wants to know, what was your average offer price for the 8,000 units you sent out? Are you going for the high dollar stuff or low dollar stuff?
Oh man, I kind of shotgun and go. I go like 0.1 acres to 20,000 acres, and then I price it accordingly. just throwing it out there, and just see what comes back, and then
I love it.
then I'll retarget, and then if I get like a sweet spot, I'm like, oh, these guys are selling in this category or this price range or this acreage size, then I'll retarget and I'll go back and readjust and say, okay, these are selling for 4, and get them for 2, or they're selling for 10, I can buy them for 3, and then just go back and retarget them. Maybe wait a month, maybe 2 months, or just maybe the same week, and just send it back out there.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. David Shelton was asking, have you used Facebook ads? Have you converted there?
I've tried Facebook ads. I didn't have a lot of luck with them making sales. I got a lot of tire kickers, a lot of looky-loos and what have you, but it didn't seem to really generate into sales for me. But I've played around with it. I'm not an expert at it. I've watched a bunch of guys that are experts at it and tried to copy it. I think what I did is I used so I have my mailer list or my email list for land, and then I take those guys and then I copy it in there, and then try to do like a lookalike group, and then I send it out there, and then Facebook retargets for me. So I don't know how well that worked or if I did it right, but and I also do geographic location. I'll draw like a map around, like you got like a little pin you can drop on your property, pull it out, 50 miles, 10 miles, whatever, and then you can target that area too. And then people that have they're into real estate, or if they're into fishing or camping or RVing, and try to target those groups. And that's how I did it. And it didn't seem to generate into sales for me. Facebook Marketplace seems to be a lot better.
You want to weigh
That's
in on
great.
anything?
I mean,
Yeah.
we sell a lot of property with paid Facebook ads that are geography based. That's actually our go-to. We should teach some stuff on that.
Maybe
The reason that I've avoided,
Okay.
I missed it.
No, go ahead.
The reason I've avoided doing like formal education on it is because it changes every week.
Yeah.
I mean, the Facebook, and it's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. It's constantly improving. Even Google Analytics now has a really detailed, if you set it up correctly, I forgot what they call it, but it's called interests. So the people that are clicking on your websites, what are their interests? And so you can go back then, how I use it is we go back then into Facebook and say, all right. And it's shocking what they're interested in. You'd think it's all hunting and fishing and stuff. It's not, and the demographic, even from an age and a gender standpoint is surprising too. But if I listen to what Google Analytics says about the people that are going to the website and I apply it to our paid Facebook advertising, it seems to work. I probably should look more at exactly, does it sell the property? Because Jill's staff is taking those calls. What I look at is how I see the traffic go and what they're doing once they get there. And that ultimately it translates into revenue. So it's always changing. I think it's working out great for us.
All right, I have a question for you. Ready? This is Quality Land Sellers wants to know, do you like smaller or larger counties? You're the pro here.
Oh, it's not the size of the county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Size doesn't matter.
Not in this situation.
It's not so much the size of the counties. It's, it's the quality of the data, actually. The quality of the data that I can get to price this stuff right. And it's all about making sure I know I can resell that property for a lot more fast. And so that's what it comes down to. And the strangest counties can yield that. We're doing a bunch of deals in this one county in Tennessee right now. I'm not sure why. I think it's because Jill has a business partner, deal funding business partner there.
It got me in that direction.
And
now
so-
I've expanded it a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I love Aaron's concept of retargeting. Send out a bunch of mail first, find out
Nice.
which little area people are responding in, and then retarget the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I never called it that, but I guess we do that too.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, here's a nice thing, right, for you guys. A guy that recently watched our interview, I think, with you. It says, Tim Krause, sorry if this is already asked, but he just joined in how business has changed. Oh, since our first interview.
Oh,
this is good. He wants to know how business has changed since we first interviewed you guys way back when until now. And he recently watched the original interview that we did with you guys. Gosh, when was that?
it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably. And when the connection works.
It's actually kind of not funny anymore.
I know. I wish that it's just, you guys got me?
I don't know.
This is good. Hey, Blake, thanks for sharing this. Blake says,
I don't know if they can hear us.
I don't know.
cost per, is it like cost
Cost per
per
impression?
per
CPM.
impressions?
Yeah.
On Facebook, Blake put our super cheap right
Yeah.
now due to a lot of advertisers not spending a lot right now. A great time to learn and experiment running Facebook ads for cheap. That's a great tip.
So let me comment deep, do a semi deep dive here on Blake's comment. Facebook advertising, since it started, and it's only because we're just having a tough connection with Aaron and Liz. But if you spent, let's say you sat down and you got up tomorrow morning and you said this sentence to yourself or some version of it. Well, the job that I had is probably not going to work out, or even the career that I chose might not work out because of this virus. What can I spend the next 2 months of my life on learning about that's going to put food on my table for the rest of my life? And guess what? It's not land investing. It's learning how to manipulate and utilize Facebook marketing. And Facebook and Instagram marketing are now synonymous. They're all interlinked. So they happen at the same time. And the Facebook paid advertising is amazingly powerful, not just for land or real estate, but anything that you can get your hands on and build a group with, or build a constituency with, or a following with. And I don't mean 7 million users or reinventing the wheel. I mean something that you're interested in. Maybe it's plants, like Aaron and Liz have a nursery.
Yeah.
Looks like they have a nursery right out the back of their house there.
Yeah.
And so I am sure that they could reach some type of
We did.
formerly uninterested customer with Facebook paid advertising. So I'm fascinated with it personally.
Yep.
I just think it's powerful as hell. Like I said, we just bought this pizza place. It's totally unrelated. And we're targeting certain zip codes where we deliver. and it's quadrupling our sales in like the next day with silly little ads like buy one, get one.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
awesome.
really, really powerful.
Like I said, that's actually what I'm working on too. Like I'm trying to up my game and learn more about that. I'm also reading any good CEO like top down book. That's what I'm like focused on right now during
Yeah.
this any downtime I have. But on about it sounds like you guys, all of our businesses are like really active right now. So I am, when I thought I was going to be having my feet up, doing my nails and reading a lot, now I'm, unfortunately, I'm even busier. And I know you guys are also. It's just crazy. All right, this is so good. Charlie put in there, if you guys want to go, if you want to go on YouTube and find
It's
the
true.
interview from a while back with Aaron and Liz, that's where it is.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's all right. This is a good question. Matt Lopez wants to know, hello everyone. Can Aaron and Liz talk a little more about your background and how you decided on land and how quickly you got started?
Yeah, so I bought the Jack Bosch program like probably 14 years ago. I think I forget what it's called. It's like some land thing. And anyway, he just left a bunch of holes in it. So I've been trying to get into it for years, and then I just kind of shelved it for all the pieces, like the little parts that I needed just to make it work. And then that was it. And then I was off to the races. And it, been doing it for the last three to 4 years, more or less.
And before that, I mean, Aaron went to school for horticulture, so he was a plant guy. I went to school as a photographer, and so then when we got together, we were both doing that. And when we'd be working in the nursery, shipping out plants with a baby strapped on the front pack, working from home.
That's good.
We were listening to Land Academy podcast because Aaron found it, and we were like, well, let's just learn while we're working, and and entertaining to learn, because he's more into the finance stuff than I am. So I was like, if they can make it interesting and I want to learn it, then okay, I'll get on board with this and I'll learn it too. So yeah, we just learned while we were doing other things, and then when we were ready, we decided let's just jump in and do it.
That's so good.
That's great.
So we did not put you to sleep. I'm like so happy that our show, you found it interesting, Liz.
No, it's entertaining.
Well, I mean, your personalities, you make it entertaining, and because there's some land people out there, and I was like, if Aaron would put it on even on a long drive, I'm just like, you got to change it.
This is horrible.
It's like so annoying.
It's good information. I know, it's good information.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Since we briefly have a good connection, I'm going to ask the previous question, like, what's changed since our last interview together?
Yeah.
So about a year ago, in February, Aaron broke his ankle. And because he broke his ankle, we had to outsource some things because he likes to do everything himself. And sometimes you have to get injured to ask for help. And so we were able to outsource a lot of help for the plant nursery, which made it easier last spring because that was, it's our peak season. And as such, he was able to, because he can't just sit still and do nothing when he's injured. So he really sent out a ton of mail and grew this quite a bit.
I sent a mailer. It was post-surgery, same day I got out. I was high on drugs, and I sent a mailer. I sent out like 10,000 units. It was all messed up. Got some great stuff.
That's nice. Coming off of post-hospital painkillers. Oh, yeah. I wonder how, just blasting, that's great. Were they priced? Were you paying, too much money? Was it high or low, or was it right where it should have been?
It was all over the place.
That's good. So you can probably go back now and go, oh yeah, that was one of those offers.
I think I got a couple of those properties still in inventory.
But it is
of course. We all do.
Yeah. Even when you screw stuff up, you can still find some great stuff out of it. So everything teaches you.
That's how you hit home runs. Send out ridiculous, crazy low offers, and then they come back.
There's one thing that everyone in the Land Academy Advanced group, like you guys, there's one thing that I constantly hear from us included is you're just not afraid to send out the mail.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to do a 5, 10, 30,000 unit mailer because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's really, that's the thing that I can't, that's the thing that's constantly comes up with newer people. It's like, really, you just have to send the mail out, and you might screw it up and it might cost a few grand. You just got to get over it because the deals are going to come.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
More mail fixes everything.
It does.
Yep.
It really does. Yep. Up your numbers. I'm really all about up your numbers. All right. This is a Stephen question on Facebook. Do you do paid ads for individual properties, for our site, or both? I know.
So that's a great question. That's a very good question. The answer is this. You should do an ad in the beginning. You should take a property that is kind of blows your mind positive, and you should then do the paid Facebook advertising for that property in the geography where the property is, but also at the same time drive them back to review the property on your website where there's other properties that they might buy. And so then now they're used to going to your website. They know it's a good place. There's a lot of cheap property. Luke Smith's an expert at this. If you go to Rural Vacant Land or look up Rural Vacant Land, he's got a whole YouTube show,
Mhm.
and he constantly is showcasing. Sometimes it's property he doesn't even own or he recently sold. So then he just says, "Oh no, sorry, it's sold. But go over here and take a look at this. I've got a bunch of other property here." And Aaron and Liz said earlier, they advertise their property on his website.
Mhm.
So if you're brand new or even advanced like these guys are, post your property there. I think he charges $100 for a month for unlimited property
Yeah.
to post there. So he's a direct competitor to a website that we own called Landpin, and honestly, he does a better job than us. That's kind of his thing. So I would pay for the ads on one great property, even if it's sold, and make sure you're driving them back to your website. Hopefully they sign up or give them something away. In a perfect world, you could give something away on your website, like an ebook or something that's free. And so you can get them to sign up and get them in the machine and then start. Jill and I have this thing called
Platinum Buyers
the
Club.
Platinum Buyers Club. So every Wednesday, I think we send out, or every other Wednesday, or I'm not sure the schedule anymore, a list of the property that we have, and it's super marked down. And we sell a lot of property that way, and the list constantly gets bigger. So,
Yeah.
but incorporating paid advertising on Facebook, I can't recommend it enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's the future.
Yep. This is so good. Tom and Patricia, hello, are chiming in and said, so good to see us all together. Hi, Tom and Patricia. Their question is, how many states are, to you guys, Aaron and Liz, how many states are you working in right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Probably 5.
Probably 5 right now.
Cool.
Whole different
Super cool.
counties within those
So-
states.
Cool. And Tom and Patricia are also in our group. We're so
Mhm.
happy. Okay, this is kind of a long one, and I have something to say about this at the end here too. So I'm going to read this. So it's Michael Hudson. Hi, Michael. He says, Aaron and Liz, good evening to you. It's evening in New York. I hope you're safe back there, Michael. Please pardon the length of this message. I had found you via Instagram, which I hardly ever look at anymore, but I'm glad I did yesterday. You mentioned several months ago we have properties in Tennessee. I guess that's for us. So yeah. I reside in New York City, but I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and have many, many cousins and family in Southwest Virginia, South Boston, and Mecklenburg. Do you know whether it would be good, or is it a good place to look for buying and selling land? I had seen today that the enrollment in Land Academy is closed. Well, let me first address, if you're real serious, Michael, I may have some inside information about that, even though it's closed. If you send a note to support@landacademy.com that you're trying to get in, they might have a backdoor way to help you with that. So just so you know. And then back to the question about, do you want to talk about
Virginia? I'll talk
Yeah.
about Virginia.
Okay.
I'm just going to be real straight about it. Forget about Tennessee. I've never done a deal in Virginia that I was disappointed with ever. I think Virginia is a fantastically it's a underlooked, under-reviewed, under-land flipped area. We did several deals last year in Virginia, and I don't think we owned any of them, for more than
Like a week, if that.
yeah. Well,
That's
between
fast.
contracts, not necessarily cash in, cash out,
Right.
probably a month. So I would heavily
Oh.
take a look at rural land in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And they do the online notary in
Yeah,
Virginia.
Good question.
Oh, really?
Thank you very much. Good to know. Matt Lopez says, I know you talk about how this isn't a bad thing for your business, but what about for new people? Do you guys think now is a good time to jump in where there are established investors like you all sending out more mail? Excellent question. Do you?
I mean,
Oh.
that's the magic to the 500.
I tell you.
Talk about the 500 club here.
So it seems like there's a bit of us, Matt, but there's not. We're hitting your radar because you're interested. But on the scheme of things, as far as land investors, there aren't very many of us. A lot of people don't get it. They don't see the value. They don't understand it. And especially the way we do it. It's very strategic and data driven. Do you want to add?
Aaron and Liz, do you guys feel like there's any real competition out there?
Good question.
Not really. No.
There's so much land.
Yeah, what is there, like 30 million parcels or something, or more?
There's 150 million properties in this country, and about 70% of them are land.
Mm-hmm.
Those are ballpark numbers.
Yeah,
there's
60%.
So many out there that, I think there's plenty for everybody.
Yeah, there's more than enough. And they're all subdividing too, so then there's more parcels come up. We're looking for situations, it's not like the property sells and then it's gone to the seller forever. It's like it's constantly changing hands. It's like somebody's uncle died, they left it to him. We don't want it. Okay, sell it. It's always flowing.
The reason, Matt, property sells is not because of the property itself. It's because of the life circumstance that the seller's experiencing. So if I send out a mailer this month to Oregon, some county in Oregon, and then Aaron and Liz send out one next month, the seller could be in a completely different personal situation and sign their offer and send it back.
Right.
And so we hear these stories over and over and over again. Jill and I had a real serious conversation in 2014 about whether or not we were going to let the cat out of the bag with this business model. And in the end, one of us really reluctantly decided that it's a good idea. And it was the greatest idea we ever had because it just created business partners for us. And I really truly believe still we're like I originally thought. We're all better together.
We are. Definitely.
So would I take out an ad on all three major networks and run it 13 minutes apart for the next 10 years? No.
Right.
I don't think I want that many people doing it. Right. But I think, 500 or so people in our group that are really good at it. We're just better together. Jack Bosch's group and some of the other groups, I'm not so sure that, I don't know. But I don't feel like I've suffered from ever losing a real estate deal because of competition, land deal anyway.
Correct. At all. Exactly. We have not a lot, but every month I have a handful of new members come on because I'm really keeping at our, 500 cap. Basically, we decided that a long time ago because we want to maintain this tight group that we all, as you could tell, like with Aaron and Liz, we all work so well together and doing deals together and partnering up and helping each other out. And it's just awesome. Funding each other's deals, that kind of a thing.
This whole business model, the Land Academy one anyway, is predicated on attracting the right people like Aaron and Liz.
Right.
And like the guy from Virginia, what was his name up there?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Michael.
What makes this work.
Yeah.
We're really data people who happen to sell real estate.
Exactly.
Or maybe we have a flair for sales that happens to be involved in real estate. So it's not like, to directly answer your question, is it good for a brand new person right now to get involved? If you're a data person, you thrive on Excel and database type data. You're already successful at something that you're trying, like a nursery, and you're adding this to your arsenal of revenue streams. You're going to do great in this business, and it helps to have a little bit of money. But if you're looking for this to answer some void in your life, and I'm not, Matt, I don't know at all, but if you think this is like a good thing to try just to see, I'm not sure this is the best business model for you.
Thanks. I hope that came out okay. I hope that answered.
I'm just telling the
You're being,
truth.
I know, I love it. No, but I wouldn't be afraid. Would you? Okay, I'm going to ask Aaron and Liz. Would you right now would you jump into this right now today with our current environment?
I would if you had partners with cash, or if you didn't have, or if you had a ton of money. I would certainly. Yeah, there's tons of deals out there.
Last time I checked, I'm a partner with cash.
Yeah, me too.
That's a great
And you do too. Oh, good.
Yeah, we have
That's
a whole
a great,
list in the group.
All right.
honest answer.
So there you go. That's the real answer, Matt. And you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Aaron and Liz. And that's the truth. We all firmly believe that no good deal should go to waste. And we will come up with the money, and there's plenty in our group that will come up with the money and help you close these deals. And that's what's so great too. I mean, we didn't have deal funding, a couple of years ago. I'm trying to think, it's been a little over a year now since we've been doing it, formally doing it. And I do it for people that aren't even members. You don't have to be a Land Academy member. You have a good deal, whether it's a land deal or a house deal, and you're like staring at this going, oh my gosh, I mean, we gotta buy this quick before they change their mind. I just need the money. It's that great. Call me, Aaron and I we'll do it.
We have two websites. One of them's called Land Tank, like Shark Tank for land, and House Tank. And this solves that exact question of money, where you can post your property up there and find partners in our group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just got a note that one of our guys raised what, $800,000 or $900,000 to do deals. So on those sites.
This is good. Okay, Quality Land Seller says, Jill and Steve, can you guys see yourselves doing another 16,000 transactions?
I mean, that's a great question, and no, and only the reason is no, because the types of deals that we do now it's exactly what Aaron and Liz just said. They're different deals. What the deals we do now, we buy and sell between $5 and $20,000, and we buy them for that and then sell them for maybe 50 to 80 on the low side, maybe 40 to 80 or 90, sometimes higher. So we're doing a lot fewer deals, but way better deals, and drive up access, stuff that makes your jaw drop when you look at it on the internet and in person. And so we got, I started the company long before I met Jill, and I was doing thousands and thousands of deals on eBay and buying through live auctions. This is before the internet really kicked in. There's so many more options now, like Facebook marketing and stuff. This is like before Facebook. Mm-hmm. So we would buy them at live auctions and sell them, tons of them at a time, on eBay and on the internet. So it's a cool thing to hang my hat on. Yeah, we did 16,000 deals, but my bank balance is way better now than it ever has been.
Well, I was going to say, it's not that we couldn't. We are choosing not to, because to do that volume, it was a lot of smaller deals. And like Aaron and Liz, when you get going in this, you realize you learn, and you understand your threshold gets higher, and you're very comfortable plopping down $30,000 to sell it for $80,000. But a lot of it is when you're starting out too. A lot of people, I'm like, and I think that's a good way to start. Do 10 small deals, get your feet wet, and understand how this goes, and then as quick as you can, add a zero. So your $1,000 deals are now $10,000 deals, and then before you know it, they're $50,000 deals, and so on. And you're doing less of them and making way more money and less work, as Liz was saying. That's good.
If you do one deal and make $50,000 out in a month, that's $600,000 a year.
Yep.
How long does it take you guys to do one deal a month?
How's the question?
How long does it take, do you think? How many hours combined does it take to do one transaction like a month, you guys? We're just cutting out.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Okay.
It takes maybe 4 hours.
3 months.
Just
3-4 hours?
Buy and sell.
The whole thing.
To one deal, how much time do you guys put into it?
I'd say probably 3 hours, 3-4 hours.
That's perfect.
Yeah, especially if you're like sending it through title and doing it that way, like the bigger deals, then it doesn't take as much time for me.
And if you find a good title agent, it's
Yeah, they
gold.
make
Hang
it
on
quick.
to them.
Mhm.
Yeah. I still send treats.
Really
Do you
speed up
guys do that
process.
too? Yeah. A good title agent will get Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory apples
Oh,
or something from me.
we should start.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Break your ankle, Liz. You will have to do a lot less work.
Yes. All right. Kurt wrote, "Hey, Kurt, everything I learned during the first live event, I have forgotten since work got in the way. That happens. I'm sorry. Well, that's not a problem anymore. Oh, I have plenty of reserves and I want to get started. Should I seek out a mentor to walk me through the first mailer, or is that overkill? What about us? Here's your mentor." So
I'm going to quote Aaron here.
yeah.
Just get the freaking thing in the mail.
Yeah. Exactly. And we're right here. Get on a member call and we'll talk about it. Or you could schedule something with us to talk about it. Oh, cool.
I just
Try to hide his
see
video.
mine through. He just joined before you cut off the cap, and me and him hit the same county. And I hit the higher ones, he hit the lower ones, and we're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
I think there's a
I'm
delay.
trying, just so you know, I tried to do you guys as audio only for a few minutes. I want to see if that minimizes the cutting in and cutting out. If at least we could hear you guys. So I'm gonna try that.
All right.
Cool. This one's a Land Academy member who couldn't be here asked.
Plus, Jill just wants to have the spotlight on herself.
Did not, you stinker. A Land Academy member. It's so funny. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to hide you guys and I asked Steven to lead the room.
It's always just the Jill show, no matter how you slice it.
Thanks. All right. So is this changing any business for Land Academy? Are there any changes we should be prepared for as members? Are new releases being impacted? Oh. All right. You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. Is this changing any business for Land Academy? Nope.
No.
Are there any changes we should be prepared for as members?
No.
Nope. And other than, you know what I would just say, get cash ready.
Well, I'll answer after Jill.
Yeah. Okay. This is my answer. My answer is no, and get cash ready because I want to end on this here in a few minutes too. What we think is going to happen. I'll start it. What I think is going to happen is it's going to keep getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
And we're going to have more opportunities coming at us with wonderful transactions. And you want to have cash ready. And if it's not your cash, have a direct communication with like deal funding or somebody else in our group who will fund deals. Actually, there's a list. I remember I sent out a list a couple months ago of, 50 people on there, how much money they had to allocate and what kind of properties they like and how they like to work with people. So if you're in Land Academy, you have a list of buyers or funders, I should say, right there to help you. That's what I'm excited for, what's really coming and how many opportunities are coming our way. And then the last thing was, our new releases being impacted. And no, actually, we're working on some other things as we speak. Yeah. Maybe even though we just released Neighbor Scoop, which if you haven't checked it out, neighborscoop.com is the best place possible to do quick due diligence, see the property, pull it up on Google Earth, get phone numbers, all kinds of information's in there. But we're working on other ways to help you with your due diligence to make that part even faster. What are you going to say?
When anything like this happens, regardless of its source, assets change hands. So the unemployment rate's going to skyrocket like we've never seen. And land is not necessary. It's not where people live. It's something that they have, the way that a third car is not necessary in times like these. And people tend to sell off those assets. So, it's our job to make sure that we get enough mail out to be the first person in line to take those assets off people's hands and then put them in the hands of people who have a ton of money that have been waiting for this. This is my third time as an adult, my third downturn. And the first two were exactly the same. The second one was way more severe. I think this one's going to now even be more severe. So there's going to be a lot of purchase agreements that are going to be signed by us and Aaron and Liz sending the stuff in the mail. So that's the impact of this. Houses, it's even going to be crazier. And I think that it's really important if you're in House Academy or you buy and sell houses with land. I don't know if Aaron and Liz do, but we're seeing some insane signatures on house agreements coming back. And this happened last time too. Jill and I were buying houses for $20,000 to $40,000 that are now being sold for $250 grand. And I expect that to happen again. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot about that in our own group. So if you've heard it before, I apologize. So yeah. And then now we're going to release, and this is not a sales pitch by any stretch. We're slated to release at the end of the month, Car Academy. So you can send out offers to people who own cars and purchase those for less than they're worth and resell them to dealers or whomever. So I don't see any negative in any of this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I can add, I went through 2008. I've only been through 2 economic downturns, but 2008, I started the nursery business, which some people would say, hey, that's the worst time to start any business. But I look at it as a different way because all the nurseries are going out of business because they supply. So there's no landscaping going on. The nurseries are going out of business. We're picking up trees for 25 cents. So the opportunity is there. And I think that's going to happen here. Apologize.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Being the best player. No.
I love it. So that's kind of what we all think is going to happen.
Yeah. Well, some version that's going to happen.
Right. Exactly. Do you have any concerns about putting food on the table through the rest of the year?
No, not at all.
Grow a garden.
Yeah, grow a garden.
That's a good idea. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but we got notes coming in, and then the nursery business is it's going crazy right now. So we have no concerns.
That's awesome for you guys.
Do you have any concerns?
No.
Pretty fortunate.
Yeah, you guys got all the pizza you can eat.
We're done with eating pizza, probably forever.
I don't know. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I'm done for a while.
Okay. I don't know. But yeah. So thank you. And thank you, Kurt. I got your note. And thank you, Michael. So he was asking again too about the notary in Virginia, but you can do online notarizing in Virginia is what you're saying, right, Liz?
Yeah, I believe it's like notarize.com. And I think they're specifically out of Virginia. So not every county in other states will take the online notarization because sometimes they need the wet stamp on the official document instead of the video and the everything. But because they do it in Virginia, you shouldn't have a problem with it there. But, check with your county and make sure. But kind of a cool thing in this time and age. I think if more counties are smart, they'll get on board with that now because everybody's going to have a hard time without it.
Yeah, it's going to happen. This is going to force that, I think.
That's what I think.
That's what I think.
I'm so excited for online notarizing and then online recording should be everywhere.
And get a cashier's check online.
Yeah.
Or just we can all wire.
Then we never have to leave our house and make $1 million a month.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
That would be nice.
A virtual cashier's check.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what I think too. I'm excited. It's just going to get it. We said this earlier. We're already set up for this. We all run our businesses remotely from all over. Mm-hmm. That's why we're here. We want to be traveling and not have any hiccup in the procedures, but this is going to force the other parts. So that's going to be so great. Wonderful. All right. Well, I'm going to turn back your video on so we can kind of wrap up and everybody can see you again.
Let's turn us off and see if they turn them on and turn
us off.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. This is Stephen and Jill.
When we were 20 years ago.
That's right. Exactly. This would be good. There we go. It's Aaron and Liz. There we go. I'm so happy. All right, I'm gonna put us all back on here because that's funny. Here we all are. Well, thank you very much for spending some of your Friday afternoon with us. And I know you guys are, as you mentioned, so busy and sharing with everyone what's going on with you now, what you're planning for, and concerns, which are kind of none.
Great talk with you guys always. I'm so happy for your success, and I hope you guys are planning on coming to the live event again.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Assuming all this stuff is free to travel again and go where we want, then we should be there.
Good.
Awesome.
We'll bring some
Awesome.
5 masks.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right. Well, we'll see you. If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you guys in October here. And everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Jill DeWitt. This is Stephen Butala. We are Land Academy. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.